Hey everyone, welcome back to the Movie Vault. My name is Rob. We're back with another episode of Inside My Movie Collection. I'm delighted to be joined today by my good friend Cinema Dave. Thanks for joining us, Dave.
Rob, thanks so much. It's so great to see you. I'm really excited. This is a great new series you have on your channel for sure.
Yeah, thanks so much. You have been a follower of mine, a loyal follower, I should say, for a long, long time. So had to get you on here as the second guest for this one. We have some cool questions. Hopefully we're going to get a nice look inside your movie collection. So we'll just jump
Sure.
in if you're ready. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, cool. So first one up, could you tell us, Dave, what sort of formats you're working with in your collection? Everyone knows I kind of collect everything from 4K all the way back to Laserdisc and VHS.
Yeah, so I also collect everything too. I have a few Laserdisc left. I have VHS tapes. I have Blu-rays, DVDs, and 4Ks. My 4K collection is very small. I know in the question too, we're talking about streaming, and I have Amazon Prime.
Mm.
I've got a movie collection on Vudu, which I have about 200 titles, I think, on Vudu.
Nice.
And I also have Hulu, Netflix, and the Criterion channel too. I'm not storing any videos there, of course, but those are the other streaming services that I have.
Yeah, that's awesome. Cool.
Yeah.
Do you remember what the first movie was in your collection, or maybe one of the oldest movies that you have in your collection?
All right. This is an easy one, Rob, right? You could probably guess this one without me being on the video, but I'll bring it right over here. But this is the first copy of Jaws on VHS, right?
That's amazing.
So yeah, and of course there's another one that I'm going to show a little bit later, but this is one of the first movies that I picked up. This is from, I think I was looking at the date. It's from 1988. This is one of the first ones I picked up. And then the other thing I wanted to show too, one of the first items I got from the Criterion collection is this one called Fishing with John. So this is one of the first Criterion DVDs I picked up. I don't know if you've seen this one before, but this is John Lurie basically going fishing with a bunch of people from, Tom Waits, Jim Jarmusch, Matt Dillon. And so this is the one I picked up because I was really into Jim Jarmusch. I'm still into Jim Jarmusch, but this is one of the ones I picked up. So those are the first two that I thought of when.
Yeah, I think you've spoken about that one on the channel before, haven't you? On your channel. Yeah, I've definitely heard that one. I'm going to throw a funny one at you guys. One of my, it's not the first, but it's one of the kind of early ones that I have. This is, what is this, 96? So my first DVD player, when I bought it back in like 98, I think there was a kind of a free little card that came with, tick which 4 DVDs you want for free. You could mail off and get them. So one of those that I got back was The Cable Guy with Jim Carrey. You might remember these old hard plastic cases, Dave, from back in the day. I think they were all the Columbia TriStar release. Yeah, that's kind of one of my oldest ones, because obviously every week I can't show the first
same way, exactly right.
So I'm kind of going back to some older stuff there.
Yeah, that's believe it or not, that's one of my favorite movies too. I love The Cable Guy. I need some laughs. It's hilarious.
He's just about on the right amount of over the top and kind of funny.
Exactly right. Yeah, that's a really funny movie.
Yeah, fantastic. Do you have like a cool box set or a special edition or anything like that in your collection that you can
you may have been able to. Now, we didn't talk about any of this stuff beforehand, but you may be able to guess this one too. Now, this is going to be. I have to put on my weightlifting clothes for this one, but
back it up.
All right, so you've seen this. Maybe you've seen this before. I don't know. This one right here.
This is on my wish list. Yeah,
this is one of my most prized possessions. 39 films. Ingmar Bergman. I've left the card on the back so you can just see the list of the films there.
Yeah.
And I just love this collection. When I first got it in the mail, it was so heavy at the mailbox. I thought maybe they shipped, 2 of them.
Yeah.
But it's got a book in it, and it's got all the Blu-rays are in there. And I didn't really have, I'd only seen a couple of Bergman films, and I didn't have any in my collection. So I thought this is the perfect time when Criterion releases these box sets. It's a great time to pick them up. So I picked it up. I was completely engrossed in it. You and I have talked about this before, but that's absolutely one of my most prized possessions. And then, so that's the one.
Yeah, nice. As I said, it's definitely on my wish list. And I think every time I check Amazon, sometimes the price goes up, sometimes it comes down. So I like a bargain like yourself, Dave. So I'll wait and see if I can get that at one point. I'm going to show you guys a cool, not a box set, just a kind of a special edition. Again, this is a really old DVD out of my my collection. This is an old Anchor Bay release from, oh my God, I can't even find a year. 2001. The Evil Dead. This is the Book of the Dead. So it might be hard to see, but this is like a rubber book.
That's great.
And you can see the back there, and they've kind of like they've done the inside like a replica of the book and all the stuff. And all the madness out of the movie, and then you get a booklet and the DVD is in the back there, fully uncovered for the first time on DVD. So I do have Evil Dead 2 in the version of this Book of the Dead as well. It plays a noise when you hit the face, but yeah, I thought that was cool because I don't think I've shown that on the channel here before. So yeah, Evil Dead, Book of the Dead. That's
great. I remember seeing that version years ago. That's amazing.
Yeah, that's a cool one to have. Do you follow it up with another kind of good one here? Do you have like a most prized piece in your collection? Doesn't have to be a movie, anything at all.
Sure. Well, this is one I've shown on the channel too, and I think this is probably the release that maybe connected you and I in a different way too. This is the Jaws collection on Laserdisc.
Yeah, amazing.
This is really a prized possession for me, just having my Jaws collection, and I don't need to open it up, I don't think, but this is a huge box set with the soundtrack, a copy of the book, and then everything on Laserdisc. And I've kept this many years too, and I just really love it. I love everything Jaws, as you know. I've got a few videos on my channel talking about Jaws, so, and I could talk about it for a long time, but this is one of my most prized possessions for sure.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's actually, I think that's how I kind of came across you on Instagram, I believe, way back when. You had a picture of that, and then I kind of thought like, oh man, that's a really cool collector's piece. And I was able to track one down myself on eBay, but I was missing the book, and I had to kind of piece it all together, but eventually did. But yeah, that's a super cool piece in the collection. I'm going to throw one up at you guys. You know, I'm a big fan of the Halloween series. So when I was little, Halloween 4 and 5 were like ones I would watch all the time. So Danielle Harris was the little kid in Halloween 4 and 5. So she's obviously well grown up by now. And she directed a movie back in 2012 called Among Friends. And I just happened to get an autographed copy of that on DVD, which is really cool. I actually have 2 of them in the collection, but this is the one that I've chosen to show you guys here. It actually has the slip, so I can take it off, and we have the autograph there as well.
Wow.
Been tempted to frame it, but I have another autograph of hers in the collection, so pretty cool to keep the DVD. I don't have
now,
much.
How did you get the autograph? How did you get the? Did you go to a show or something where they had it?
No, I got it online. I can't remember where exactly. Possibly through Danielle's website herself. But in a weird kind of a story, she was over here in Ireland showing that film in the horror festival we run every year in the cinema I work in now. But it was like 2 years before I worked there. And I knew the film was on, and I couldn't get in to see it and kind of meet her and some of the cast there at the time. But I got my autographed copy in the end, and anyway, so
oh, that's great. That's great.
Yeah, mad stuff.
Wow.
We're gonna dive back into the movie collection here. Can you tell us what the last movie was that you bought?
Okay, well, I'm going to show 2 things because they were in the same order. So
yeah, cool.
I'll show you the 2 things I got in my last Amazon order. And one is this, I've been collecting Universal horror. So this is the Mummy collection.
Nice, yeah.
And these were on special. I don't know if this is true in Ireland, but these were on special, I think, for $14.99 on Amazon. So I have the one for Frankenstein, and this year I just picked up the Mummy one. I probably could get them all, but I just wanted to get this one next. I heard the Mummy is really good.
Yeah.
Cool. And then the other one I picked up in the same order is the Darkman trilogy. I don't know if you've seen this or not, but
yeah,
but I had Darkman 2. I've seen the original Darkman, and I wanted just to get them all 3. This one came down to a good price on Amazon, and I just really love the first one. So I'm not even sure. Probably Darkman 2 and 3 maybe are not that good, but I like the first one, and I wanted to see these for a long time, so I picked it up.
Yeah, that's cool. I think Sam Raimi directed the first Darkman.
Yeah, I think so. I think
a nice throwback to our collection earlier.
Oh yeah, right, exactly. Yeah, from Sam Raimi. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
awesome.
Yeah.
I've never seen 2 or 3. I wasn't even really aware there was a 3rd one. I knew there was a 2nd one, but I haven't seen those. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I do have the Universal those kind of trilogy collections. I did pick up the Creature from the Black Lagoon one just because I'm a big fan of those movies.
Yeah.
But I didn't go for any of the other ones yet at the moment. We'll wait and see. We have to kind of curb the spending at the moment.
You gotta be on a budget, right? A little bit, right?
Yeah. Because speaking of budget, because my last pickup was the Friday the 13th.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Deluxe box set, kind of this thing, I've done an unboxing and all that stuff on the channel, but I have yet to kind of delve in. There was an issue with discs, and I've ordered replacement discs and all that sort of stuff at the moment. So I'll delve in at some point. But
now did you check it out to see if you had an issue on those discs, or you just decided to just order the replacement?
I didn't.
Anyway,
No, I just saw the kind of notice saying, fill in this form, and so I just kind of thought I better just get them in case, and I'll check through them at some point. I just I just haven't gotten near them yet. And everyone else has kind of bought this, unboxed it, and dived right in. I bought it, unboxed it, and I'll leave it. It's in the to be watched pile. We'll get there at some point.
At some point, yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
Another next one up. The last movie you watched.
So the last movie I watched was on Netflix, and it's probably going to be on my top 10 list for the best films, I think, of 2020. It's called The Trial of the Chicago 7. I don't know if you heard that. I don't know if you heard of that movie, but
yeah.
So it's Aaron Sorkin directed and wrote it, and it's one of the best movies I've seen all year. Just an amazing film, such a great cast, so many great performances, but just the writing and the pacing of the movie, I was really impressed with it. It came out on the 16th of October, just Friday.
Yeah.
And I watched it yesterday, and I was just completely blown away by it. It's so good. So I don't know if you've seen that or if any of your audience has seen it, but it's going to be in my top. It's probably going to be in my top 5. Let's put it that way, of the year.
Well, what a good recommendation. I've heard of it and I haven't seen it at the moment. The last kind of Netflix binge I had was The Haunting of Bly Manor. I kind of made my way through that series because I was a big fan of the first one. I'm going to hit you guys with a kind of a sneak peek here on the channel. So I've done the discussion videos before on the Marlene Dietrich box sets. So the last movie I watched was actually, I just finished this up like about an hour and a half ago. This is Fast and Loose out of the Carol Lombard, Kino Orb box set. This is the next kind of thing I'm going to do, a discussion on those 3 movies. So that's a quick sneak peek for anybody on the channel. That's going to be the next one up whenever I get around to those.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, do you like the Kino set? I haven't picked up any of the Kino sets yet. I just didn't know if you...
Do you know what? That was the first one I didn't have to. I got it through Amazon, and then one of the viewers kind of kindly let me know in the comments of that haul video that you can get some Kino Orb stuff through. There is a website called Wow HD, and there's like an Irish version of it. And I think kind of funnily, people, subscribers of my channel will know I bought a whole load of Criterion Collection and John Carpenter movies back in the lockdown earlier this year, and I got hit for customs charges when they arrived at the door.
Oh, really? Oh, no.
Because I bought €200 worth of stuff, and the sticker on the outside of the box said like €200 worth of Blu-rays.
Right.
So I had to pay another €60 when they got here. So
wow.
That's why I don't always buy from Wow HD, but yeah, somebody did say you can get the Kino Orb stuff through Wow HD. I just kind of, at the moment, I prefer Amazon, because I kind of feel even Amazon in the States, that Friday the 13th box set, I got a notification it was shipped on Tuesday, and I had it here in Ireland on Thursday, like 2 days later.
Oh, wow.
So they're really, really quick. Any date they give me a delivery date, everything always gets delivered earlier than that date. So Amazon are kind of killing it at the moment for delivery stuff.
That's great. But you said are the extra features on that really good also? Because like I said, I haven't picked up a Kino set yet.
I want to say Fast and Loose, no, literally had, it's only 70 minutes as well. So it's nice and short and sweet. And there's subtitles, and I think there's 2 trailers or something like that, maybe.
Right.
And I want to say the other 2 movies are the same. I did actually recently as well, I picked up another Carol Lombard movie, Supernatural. I don't know if you're familiar with that old horror movie, the 30s horror movie, Supernatural it's called. And I just bought the single release of that from Kino Orb as well through Amazon. And I think that was kind of the same. Just a couple of trailers, maybe there's not a lot of bonus stuff. I could be mistaken in saying, are Kino kind of releasing hard to find stuff, but maybe I want to say kind of like Criterion, but there's not as many
not as many extra features.
Yeah.
Some of the releases have a lot of extra features on them, and some have none. You know what I mean? So it's kind of a hit or miss kind of thing. And I know they're doing another sale now. They're really pretty famous for their sales, and so sometimes I'll order from Amazon, and then other times I'll place an order just with Kino Orb or the website, and they usually the Blu-rays arrive pretty quickly.
Yeah, that I think actually, speaking of Kino, I think that's how I kind of came across them. I think you done a haul on your channel maybe last year or something like that, and I was kind of like, man, what's Kino Orb? And I went onto the website and I was add to cart, and then at the end it was like they don't ship to Ireland, so I was so bummed out like after that. So I've only kind of recently been sourcing them elsewhere, but collector problems, Dave.
Oh yeah, exactly right. Yeah,
We want everything from everywhere.
Gotta find a source. You have to find a source for everything, right?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Speaking of collector problems, do you have any pre-orders, or is there any upcoming releases that you're looking forward to add into your collection?
All right. So one of the ones I'm really looking forward to that I just put on pre-order last week, and that's the Hammer set, the Hammer set from Mill Creek on Blu-ray. I think there's 20 films, and I wasn't going to order it because I have some Hammer films here, but I happened to see a video by Aaron Pinn, right? We know Aaron.
Yeah.
Aaron, and he was talking about the extra features on the Hammer set, and I thought I really need to pick this up. Plus, I had already seen Sword of Sherwood Forest. I don't know if you've ever seen that one. That's a Hammer film, and it's on the set. So I thought with those extra features for that price, I think the price came down to like $72 or something like that on Amazon, and it was over $100. I said I need to pre-order that. So that I'm really excited about that. That's coming next month.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I actually have another tie back to our live stream that we done. I'll have a link in the description, guys, if you didn't see the live stream I done on Dave's channel. I think I said on the live stream there was a new Halloween 78 4K steelbook that was like a Best Buy exclusive or something in the States. Well, Zavvi have released that here in the UK. So that's the next pre-order I have on the way. I'm still waiting on that Dawn of the Dead 4K as well. And that's I think when I done the episode with Vanessa inside my movie collection, I think I was still waiting on Friday the 13th. So, I draw the line at 3 pre-orders. I can't
do more than that.
Yeah, we have to kind of calm down. We're coming up to Christmas as well,
Yeah, that Dawn of the Dead release looks so good too. And like I said, I haven't seen that version. I don't think I ever had it on VHS or any other format, and I haven't seen that movie since it came out. So I've got to track that down too. That's on my wish list for sure. And thanks for reminding me.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, I think I want to say, isn't it like 6 discs or something? There's possibly
something like that
in there. And I did actually, for the horror picks videos I've been doing, I did rewatch it for my 70s list, and I have 2 versions of it on DVD. There's a regular one, and there's like a director's uncut version I have as well. Yeah, and 2 different cover arts as well. So because I was big into the different cover arts years ago. Now I'm not too bothered. One copy is enough, except for Halloween. I have to have it. Yeah, and Jaws with yourself.
Jaws for me, except if they come out with a different cover, I have to get it, right?
Yeah, need to get it.
Yeah.
Do you? We might have answered this next question, but do you have a favorite movie franchise or a favorite series or anything like that?
Yeah, I do, and I don't think we've talked about this too, but my favorite franchise at this point is the original Star Trek.
Awesome.
So I have all the Star Trek movies, the older ones, but I like the reboot also, the J.J. Abrams reboots. I think those are great, but the original series, I'm a big fan of. Just the original cast, and I've seen some of Next Generation and things like that, and I've tried to get into some of the other series, but I'm a big fan of the original series, and I've watched those episodes many times.
Yeah,
I love the movies. So I don't know if you watch those or if you have a favorite.
Yeah, I was,
Star Trek.
We won't get into the whole Star Trek versus Star Wars, all that thing, but I was very much like into Star Trek as a kid. I remember my earliest memories of Star Trek would be coming home from school at 4:00, and the Next Generation would be on 5 till 6 on TV. So that was kind of my into Star Trek, and then like DS9 and Voyager. And I did a couple of Christmases back, I got all of the DVD box sets. And then I think, was it last Christmas or maybe the year before, I got the original Star Trek, the complete, wasn't it 3 seasons it was only on for?
Yeah, 3 seasons, yeah.
I got the Blu-ray box set, which they've done fantastic restorations on them, and you can kind of watch them with extra scenes or commentary, and there's a whole load of bonus stuff on them, and I'm kind of, slowly making my way through that box set, but that was kind of my into Star Trek and the movies as well. I think I have them all, and I got the new reboot movies that you just talked about there. I have the first one, and I never saw I want to say there was 3, was there?
There's 3. Yeah, there's 3 of them. But I think the first and the third one are really good. I mean, the first one I was so excited because I really think they captured the essence of the original series and then kind of gave it a new start. I thought there was going to be a 4th one too at some point, but then I think I haven't seen a lot of talk on it. But you mentioned Voyager. I also really enjoyed Voyager. I thought that was a really creative take on Star Trek, one of my favorite series too.
Yeah.
and Next Generation. Also the Picard series, which is out on, I think there's a physical media release of season 1, but
I think so, yeah.
I saw the first episode of that. I don't have CBS On Demand, which is the channel over here that we would get it on. But the first episode I really enjoyed, and I love Picard as a captain. I think he's great too. Yeah. So
I think
that whole universe I really like a lot.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I think I want to say, did Picard stream on Amazon over here? Over this?
Oh, really? Okay.
Possibly. I did see it, and it was some of it was kind of like, and some of it was actually quite good, quite interesting. And have you seen any of the Discovery, that series? My friend Colin put me onto that series, and I what was the other one? Enterprise. I don't think I kind of
Enterprise. Yeah, Enterprise was before, right? The original series, I think, and then Discovery was afterwards. And I've seen a couple of episodes of Discovery, but I haven't made my way all the way through that.
Yeah. That's an interesting one if you have the time. Although sitting to watch a series is something different to watching.
It's a lot. Well, then if you start from and then if you start from scratch too, if you start from the beginning and start watching the original series, and then Next Generation, many seasons of that, Deep Space Nine, all that.
Yeah, crazy.
So lots of stuff.
I'm gonna grab a collectible here. Maybe I guess we could call this for I guess like everyone knows I love the Halloween franchise, but obviously I can't say Halloween every episode. So I'm gonna have to move back a little bit here. But I'm a big fan of Ghostbusters, and I have a replica proton pack.
Wow, that is really nice. Wow, that is great. Now, has that ever been? Because I don't think I've seen that. Have you showcased?
No, first debut on the Movie Vault on the channel here. I have it. Obviously, you guys know I'm sitting in the office here at home because it's a different background to when I shoot the YouTube videos, the regular ones. So I have that kind of sits over to my right hand side. Over this side, I have a kind of a film bench, projector stuff, and I have this kind of over there with some cool framed stuff. So I'm kind of I'm debating whether to kind of shoot some videos in here because I have some different looking backgrounds,
some different stuff,
movie posters and stuff in here, and obviously the vinyl collection and stuff is behind me. So
or even the shelves too. You can put stuff on the shelf in the back there, which is great.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, isn't it? It's great to have two rooms. To shoot.
Aren't they going to reboot the Ghostbusters with Bill Murray in the original cast? I thought that was happening soon too.
That should have been out this year, and with everything that goes on, of course, everything's been put back to next year. So definitely looking forward. It's going to continue on, I believe, from, I guess, I want to say it's going to continue on from the first two, but I guess I've seen some stuff online about so there's been a trailer for, I think, Ghostbusters Afterlife is the name of it. So there was a trailer where the kids find the car Ecto-1 in the barn, and they kind of drive it through a field and all this kind of fun stuff. But I think some eagle-eye Ghostbusters fans spotted that that's the car out of the first film, not the car out of the second Ghostbusters. So I wonder, are we going to end up, Dave, with like a Halloween type situation where the new one might go from one to the new one and kind of skip two and timelines?
Maybe that's a good. I don't know. Maybe that's a good thing if they do that. Who knows, right?
Yeah. We'll have to wait and see. Patiently wait and see.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah.
Next one up here is: do you have any kind of music or book recommendations that might be a film tie-in for us?
Okay, so I have one of each. I don't think the music is going to be a film tie-in, but I do have a favorite piece of music. But this one I just recently picked up. This is also on Amazon, but it's TCM has its own line of books, and this is great. They really put out some great books, and this one has amazing photographs. I'll just open it. Oh, you like The Creature from the Black Lagoon? There you go. I open it up to the Black Lagoon page right there.
Awesome.
So there's a lot of great photographs in here, and I just really like these books. This is a hardcover book, and it's really, really solid. And for the price, it's great to have. And I have a couple of these just on my table where I watch TV usually, and it's just great to pick them up and just thumb through it and find a movie that maybe you haven't seen before and learn something new. So this is one I would highly recommend. And on the music side, I don't really have anything to show, but I will tell you that someone who I listen to every single week, one of my favorite artists and musicians these days is Phoebe Bridgers. So I don't know if you've ever heard of Phoebe Bridgers or not. No. She has 2 albums out. She's been doing some, I think there was a live stream from Red Rocks that she did. She did a concert with, her band, but I just really love her music. I listen to it every week and just on Spotify. And so that's my big, music recommendation. If you haven't heard Phoebe Bridgers before, look her up on you. She's on YouTube and she's all over the place. She's on Spotify, and I just really, really enjoy her songwriting. So that's my recommendation.
Yeah, cool. I'll add that to the list. It's handy having Spotify, isn't it? You don't have to kind of, you know, years ago you'd kind of get a recommendation and drop maybe 15, 20 quid on a CD and then kind of be like, oh man, I don't know about this album. So it's kind of handy with the streaming stuff these days, isn't it?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I love Spotify.
I'm going to hit you guys with I'll do music first. This was a recent addition to the collection. Big fan of the Blues Brothers, so I got the vinyl album. It's on this kind of exclusive blue see-through vinyl, which is really cool. I don't know if they're limited edition. Actually, the stickers on the front there in front of me. Big fan of the Blues Brothers since I was a kid. Book-wise, I want to say, did you do a video with Heath, our good friend Heath from Serial at Midnight, about Westerns? Maybe a year or so ago.
I think we talked about Westerns, but we did. Yeah. I think he's done some videos on Westerns before, for sure.
Yeah. I definitely remember, or maybe seeing you guys having a conversation in the comments about them. And it kind of got me thinking at the time, like, man, I don't have a lot of Westerns in my collection. And I was kind of looking through, and Once Upon a Time in the West was the only one I had. And I think it was coming up to the end of last year, I came across this awesome book, Once Upon a Time in the West, Shooting a Masterpiece. It's kind of like the making of, big hardback book, and there's all sorts of like older movie references. I think Tarantino does an intro. There's like some crazy behind the scenes pictures, and you know, I didn't even read it yet. I flicked through the pictures and had a look, but I thought, like, man, what an interesting, you know, if I had to pick a favorite Western, that might be it. And
I think you the page you opened to too, I think was a shot from Johnny Guitar also, which is one of my favorite Westerns. But Once Upon a Time in the West is great. And if you're looking for this is maybe a bonus recommendation here, but if you're looking for a great Western watch, Stagecoach is a really great one. Yeah. And I'm sure it's represented in that.
Somewhere there's kind of, because there's Tarantino does the kind of the forward, and there's all pictures of Hateful Eight and, you know, his influences in Hateful Eight and stuff like that. So
surprisingly, you know, not to get into too much Westerns, you know, discussion here, but there's a couple scenes in Stagecoach which I think Spielberg used when he was doing Indiana Jones. I mean, there's a couple scenes in there directly. If you watch the movie, let me know what you think, because there's a couple scenes near the end of the movie that Spielberg uses, I believe.
Yeah, nice.
For
Burroughs.
For Jones. Oh yeah, Burroughs. Sorry.
Yeah,
he was inspired by it.
Yeah, nice. We're going to wrap it up here with the next question. Do you have 3 recommendations you can give us from your collection?
Sure. So the first one I'm going to do is one maybe I've talked about on the channel too. But if you're a fan of the 70s, this is one of my favorite movies from the 70s. Have you seen Clute yet?
I have.
Have you seen this one?
Do you know what, Dave? That was earlier on in the year. I picked up a couple of criterions based off of one of the videos you did, and that was one of them. And what a fantastic film. Yeah, absolutely brilliant.
This is one of my favorite films from the 70s. It's part of the Paranoid trilogy, along with The Parallax View and All the President's Men. Jane Fonda in this movie is amazing. If you've never seen Jane Fonda in a movie, she's just amazing in this movie. She won an Oscar for it, I believe, too.
Yeah.
And it's just really great. The extra features, the interview that they do with her on this Criterion Collection release is also just amazing too. And I have the next one here, may be surprising, but this is a movie that I don't think I've talked too much about on my channel, but I'm probably going to talk about it at some point. American Splendor. Yeah. This is kind of a documentary drama, but Paul Giamatti's in it, and it's the life of Harvey Pekar, who famously worked with Robert Crumb. And I don't know why, but this is a movie that I have 3 copies of, and I keep buying it because I love it so much. And I haven't really nailed down the reason I like it. I think it's because I like his story. If you see the movie again, let me know what you think, because he was a very unique individual and had a very interesting life. And I feel like he's a good example of being yourself and just, you know, kind of going with it. Again, he wasn't very popular. You know, Robert Crumb, you know, worked with him, but I think that's what inspires me about the story. So that's one I would highly recommend. And then the last one is this movie, which is, again, this is going to be on my top 5 of this year. First Cow. This is a Kelly Reichardt film. And it's available on demand, and then they did a physical release of it. But this is an amazing movie. It's kind of a slow slow burn. I mean, it takes place in the 1820s. But her directing and her attention to detail, the writing, she works with an author by the name of Jonathan Raymond, and he is just an amazing storyteller. The performances in here are great. I'm sure it's going to win some awards. I'm hoping it does anyway. I would love to see Criterion do a release of this movie, but if you like kind of a slow burn, it's also, this movie to me is very reflective of what's happening in society today in some ways. So if you see the movie again, let me know what you think of it, because again, I love this film. It's going to be in my top 5 for this year for sure.
Yeah, cool. I think you talked about that on a recent live stream as well, didn't you?
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Cool. That's awesome. Well, that's going to wrap it up for another episode of Inside My Movie Collection. Dave, I want to really thank you for joining me on this episode. It's been great.
Yeah, well, thank you so much, Rob. And again, I love your channel, so I'm looking forward to so many great videos from you, and I really appreciate the opportunity to come on today. I'm sure we'll collaborate again. So thanks again. Really appreciate
no worries. We'll be back. We'll have to delve inside your collection once more. Okay, guys, if you're not familiar with Dave's channel, I'm going to have links to his channel in the description, and his Twitter and all that sort of social media stuff as well. Thanks for joining me, and hopefully we'll see you again on the next one.